Right on, guys. Welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments are thankfully absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully, you are getting my audio. Let me know if the audio is working. Please comment over here in the chat. Get all the live chats. It is awesome to see you, Jason, Kim, Bruce, and Forrest. Kim, I also have not heard of anyone percolating coffee in a long, long time. Hey, Montana RC, what's happening? But that's awesome, Bruce, because I think world champion, yeah, Jeremy Malone, far from world champion, unfortunately, but doing very well these days. Bow Hunter, what's happening, broads? Let's get right to it, though. Jason Lash is asking a question that I think is very pertinent to a lot of people these days on the new 300. Ooh, look how pretty it is over there. I just like having that as my backdrop. Sean Robb, yes, we will be in Aztec. But to Jason's question that's up here at the top, it says, once we get rolling, I think you mentioned on your new bike has a BR70S. The book shows them having an 8. Did you replace that? So no, it's interesting. My bike came with a 70S. I think in the video of me taking it apart, I might have shown a little bit of surprise that it came with a BR70S because most 250s, 300s, bigger bikes have 8s in it from the factory. Or, I think I don't know. I think one of my 300s had a 7, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So no, mine came with a 7, and I put a 7 back in it. Jeremy Mullen, yes, a 7 is hotter than an 8. And hi, Mom. I love you. Everybody say hi to my mom, Suzanne Spradling. I love you, Mama. Thank you, Forrest, for the congratulations. It was a Husa Island or what's happening. Mine had a 7 in it, but it's funny how many people are fouling plugs. And here's my theory. I don't know. I can't prove it yet. I have not fouled a plug. I've had no issues, no running issues whatsoever. 0. My bike has been perfect. No flash codes, no nothing. One thing is I have not hit the start button while the bike's running. So there's that. But then as far as fouling plugs, I think the bike is incredibly rich when you start it up, which is good, right? It's like pulling the enricher or the choke on a bike. It's super, super rich when you start it, which is good. That's what you want. You want tons of gas going in there, keeping everything lubed up and cool and as it warms up. Brady Matter, what's happening? So it's really, really rich on the initial map, which is awesome. 5280 James, what's happening? Scott Copland, what's going down? So I think what people are doing, they're so used to their TPIs that are so lean at idle, and the TPI probably has a rich map too when it first starts up. Please don't yell at me at that. So, but they're lean, and then the oil situation with the TPI is so bad until it gets migrated in there that you got to really not touch it until it's warm to get the oil moving through the system and moving through the motor. So what up, Matt Simpson? How's it going, dude? We need to ride together again, man. It's been way too long. So everybody's been warming them up like that. I think they've been warming these things up like that because they're terrified of breaking their bike. Fair enough. I get it. Although I'm kind of the thing, I figure let's break the thing. If it's got a warranty, let's break it in the warranty. But anyway, I've been warming mine up like a normal bike. I mean, I do use a little cold start thing that just all it does is open the butterfly a little bit to give more air to that rich map. And I think that may be part of this thing too. So they're not using that because it'll start and run without, an idle without hitting that cold start. It's nice. But so they're not doing that. And then they let it idle and idle and idle, even with that closed. And it's idle and idle and idle and idle and idle. And since it's so rich, it's loading up just like a carburetor would, right? There's too much oil and fuel for the throttle opening. And so it loads up. And when you take off, you got to clear it out. And by the way, everybody on the internets, I ran 60 to 1 while I was in Oklahoma to see, and absolutely zero changed on the way that bike ran, the way it needed to be cleared out, all that stuff. So debunking your theories on that on my 40 to 1 mix. I'm going back to 40 to 1. But the Beverly Boys, Ozzy, what's happening? So I think what's happening is guys are letting the thing idle so long because they're so scared because they had a TPI or whatever. They heard all the horror stories of the TPI that it loads up and then they take off all nice and slow. Again, these are not terrible things, except that the bike is super loaded up and then it fouls the plug. Guys are fouling them at like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I just talked to a guy the other day or messaged him. I said, hey, check your plug because his bike just stopped running. And he's like, oh, he's freaking out. Fair enough. Again, expensive new bike, shouldn't stop running. Yeah, you like that, Frank? So they, I think anyway. So, and if they're coming with an 8, that would be bad. Hey, Jason Lash, sorry, I did start early. I'm talking all about what we were talking about. That plug, mine did not come with an 8. Mine came with a 7. I think the 7 is the way to go. It burns a little hotter. Mine has not fouled the plug. I don't know that an 8 would have fouled either, the way I started them and warm them up, but I would imagine it was a supply issue, not a cost saving issue. Fair enough. 1968 has an iridium stock plug and there's a standard plug. Yeah, Rich Hog, I'm with Brady. It's either that or freaking they changed their minds because the first TPI bike came with some crazy weird plug that no one had, and it was really hard to get. And then it was like, oh, hey, you can put a BR7 or BR80 in. And I was like, oh yeah, no kidding. It's the same head basically. So, John Liddell, I do love that motorcycle. Let's see. Brody, hey Morgan, Logan was telling me that if my 85 is not jetted right, it can blow up in the cold. Yes, Brody, that is true. If it's jetted too lean, it will. You have to hold it wide open for a long time, but yes, you could seize it if it's too lean. And when it gets cold outside, quick lesson on how motors work, and fuel injected ones too. They just have a temp sensor to tell it when to be rich and lean. As it gets colder, the air in this world that we live in gets more dense. The molecules get closer together. So oxygen, there's more oxygen per square whatever of air. And when there's more oxygen, you need more fuel to burn correctly. If you have less fuel, it's lean, and that makes it hot, and then calls it whatever. Bruce Kennedy, have I plugged the EE screen yet? No, I have not. I did take it out and burn it out once already. Let's see. Matt Simpson, you did not forget how to ride, but we need to ride. Let's see. Yeah, guys, 43 of you watching on my end, only 17 thumbs up. So back out of the chat. Boom on the thumbs up. Come back into the chat and let's talk. Brody, yes, I think yours is just fine. You're not spending a lot of time just pinned wide open either. You can get away with a lot of jetting issues if you're not just wide open all the time. Yeah, Jason Lash, nice work. Jason will be sending his shock in after Thanksgiving to get revalve TBT love on his brand new 300. We've already done his forks from his last bike, so he's going to swap those onto this bike. So, guys, the TBT settings for this chassis are really good. If you're getting a new bike, you're looking to get set up, give us a ring. Let us know what we can do. I am actually probably going to be doing KYB upgrade on this. I looked at the 6500 versus the KYB, and the money is basically the same. So I'm probably going to be doing a KYB setup on this sometime, if probably in January. I'm going to wait. It still costs a fair amount of money to do. So, but I'm probably going to do a KYB conversion on these forks to let you guys know how much better that is. So, yes, Brody, you do have the advantage of being a beginner. Matt Simpson, 6500, and the 6500s are good. I think the KYB, talking to Travis, talking to lots of people, the KYB is another step up. And if it's the same money, we're going to go ahead and give it that. Ozzy, Brady will be getting the 2 strokes better than 4 strokes sticker / tattoo very soon. See, my 300 run great. The people with problems are modifying the crap out of them. Ronnie Nelson, that is true. Absolutely. Most stock things are good. And also, if you do the stock warm up and all that stuff, it's a big deal. True North just went out and tested the lighting kits yesterday. Just added KYB forks, TBT revalve, Yes, nice, True North. That's awesome. Did you get your clutch noise solved? Seat time, you didn't know alert. That sucks. Bummer. But here you are. It's 7. We're good. Is the suspension on the Husky lower than the KTM? Can someone answer that? I don't know if that is the case. Barnado, what up? Are you coming to Aztec? Let me know. By the way, if anybody's coming to Aztec, make sure you come by and say hi. The boys and I are not going to be camping at this race. We're going to be just coming for the day, going to stay in a hotel, then coming for the day. Partially because I just don't have time to get ready for camping after being gone for 5 days for the gold rush, coming back. And then anyway, and then the other thing is the boys and I are going to stay down there because they don't have school Monday, and we're going to fish the San Juan River. Woo-hoo, hopefully catch some giant rainbows. Right on, True North. Good to hear. See, I heard it was 0.5 inches lower than the KTM. Moore says more racing. So yeah, I don't know if surely it's an easy enough thing to go look at seat height online on the 2 different websites. I gotta believe. Let's see. Seat time. Just watched a 2-stroke video. Question: what is your typical break-in period like after racing piston and rings? Great question, Woody. Honestly, on piston and rings, I don't really break anything in. I just go ride because like Mike said, it says pin it. Because the thing is, since you're not changing bearings, you're not moving anything in there, you're just putting that thing in there. The plated cylinders and the rings that they have now are so hard and so good. You really don't need anything. The biggest thing I tell everybody when we rebuild it, whether they rebuild it, I do it, whatever, is a human just did that work, right? Even if they're the best human in the world at doing it, a human still did that work. So mistakes can happen. So what I tell people is to go easily out, ride it for a little bit easily and just make sure you're checking for leaks or any kind of weirdness that sounds like that, just in case something got messed up, and then pin it. But as far as actually breaking it in, let her rip. Excuse me. Scott Copland, have you heard of any issues with the coolant leaks on the T-piece of the new 300? Yes, I heard of one person, I forget who that was, who said that they had theirs leaking right from the get-go. Yes, Jason Lash. So I have to comment, guys. I gotta comment on Jeff Slavins's video about his bike, and I commented on the video because whatever. Jeff and I, yeah. Anyway, so Jeff got one of these bikes, and I heard through the grapevine. I'm not gonna say who told me. Who's tight with some of those guys at Slavins, that when Jeff got the bike, he said, honestly, this thing it's too fast. This is too much motorcycle. He didn't like it at all. And Jeff's a great rider. He's an older guy, and he likes the harder, gnarlier stuff. And I think it's hilarious because he pooped all over the stock suspension on this motorcycle in his little bit. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Give him a view. Give him whatever. Jeff's got tons of subscribers. Been around a long time. But he pooped all over it, and I think he's like, I can't even ride this bike. I can't. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. And I think it's funny that I took mine bone stock out and won a race against the same guys I've been racing all year, right? And I had great results in Oklahoma too, but like that Weeby race that I won on was the same people I've been racing all year long, and I've never been better than third. And I won it, and I was 14th overall. That's hilarious. So Jeff Slavins is dead wrong. This bike is pretty freaking good out of the box if you ride it for what it was meant for, which is going fast. Casey Duncan, 60-to-1 fuel. Casey, I run 40-to-1 partially because I've got a fleet of 2-strokes right here that you can't see. My kids' bikes from 100 all the way up to 300, and I don't want to have different cans, so we just do 40-to-1 and all of it. And it's fine. It's fine. 20 hour. Well, the last 3 hours at 60-to-1, but yeah, anyway, it's totally fine. Let's see. Thanks, Steven. I will get to your question here in a second. Yes, Brady, it's muled. Garrett Anderson, why isn't my race bike a lazy boy? Good. I mean, honestly, just buy a W. If you want to go cruising around and like have lights on the thing stock and all that, just buy a freaking KTM makes your motorcycle. They make them, and Husky. You can buy a T if you want a linkage. Go buy the Husky or the gas. They make the motorcycle for you. Stop taming this beautiful, gorgeous thoroughbred down. Do not do that to these motorcycles. It's so good like it is. Looking for some graphics for the 100. What was you thinking for the graphics that are on it? Brody, I already have new plastics coming, so I don't think he's got any plans for it, but we're going to put new plastics on it and make it look nice. AJ, yeah, some people are just not built the same. And it's like, whatever, right? I don't care. Jeff is a master salesman, and that's what he's doing. He's trying to sell you stuff for that bike. As far as I'm concerned, you can buy the bike, make sure you got hand guards on it that you like. It comes with the skid plate that's actually okay, and just go freaking ride it. Like, I'd love to sell you stuff, but whatever. What would you go with a KTM over to Europe? What made you go with Enduro Solo, which is first? The reason I went with the KTM, honestly, versus the Beta, because oh, by the way, there's a little, maybe something happening with me in a Beta. So I can't say it's happening for sure, but it might be, and it will be awesome. Let's see. Here, quick, Steven, a little off subject. How would you compare this bike to a Beta 300 Race Edition? Steven, it's faster for sure, especially top speed, just like it's faster. Smoother, counterbalanced motor, and then this one is going to be a lot more planted than the Beta. The Beta has a linkage, but it's way better at like the super tight techie stuff. This is better at the faster, whooped out stuff out of the box. That's the biggest difference. I mean, Beta is brilliant. I just want a newer French lady in my yes, seat time. You need a newer French lady. Just go make that happen somehow, some way. If you're selling trinkets and add more add-ons to improve the bike, you trash it and you then make it right. Yes, Bruce, that is exactly how I feel. And now I have lots of trinkets on my bike of $4,000 worth of stuff, but I'm testing. Like, that was all given to me. I mean, I could sell all that stuff to you, I guess, but honestly, I'm testing for you guys so you can decide whether it's good. Let's see. Gary, all the colors of the rainbow. Looking to buy a bike, just don't know if the Beta is fast enough. Steven, the Beta is fast. The Beta is people winning hare and hounds on it, so you can make it fast. It's, I mean, the Beta is fast. This bike is faster, especially straight out of the box. The way this thing runs is out of hand. So, let's see. If you're a little skeptical of the fuel pickup, what are your thoughts? If you're making, so Casey Duncan, good thing to be skeptical about, but I can say that the fuel pickup thing works. Like, it works. It burns the gas. Like, I've now run it out of gas. Well, I ran it out of gas. I didn't run it out of gas in the race, but I've gotten dangerously close in races. I ran it out of gas out in Dry Creek. As long as you're in bouncy, whoopy, off-road conditions, right? Motocross too, whatever. It will pick up almost all the gas. I don't know. If you're going down roads, like especially if you had like a long transfer or something like that, that would be a situation. And yes, IMS is coming out with a tank very, very, very soon that has a low pickup that goes right there. The fuel pump still sits up where it normally does, but it's got this anyway. So they're solving the problem, and it's a bigger tank too, which is nice because it burns a lot of gas. What else you guys added the 100 before you sell it? Brody, nothing. Just going to clean it up, service it, and make sure it's good. Yes, Mike Barnato. As we all know, you love Japanese, and I love Japanese bikes. They're whatever. They're freaking good. Big time influencer, whatever. See, I have a funny feeling someone on the front range is lurking. Oh, dude, Bruce, he's been watching all my stuff. He basically called me out because he said, it's not a game changer. I'm a grumpy man. And this is a piece of crap. I got to spend $4 million on it. So I think it's funny because I talked to a few of my friends and customers, and I think was literally a game changer because, like I said, I won a race against people that have always beat me. So whatever. What brand of the wheels you put on your new KTM? I think the seals, not the. Lucas, what are the wheel seals? Good question. It's from SKF. They've got the thing that spins. It's pretty cool. And they've got better spacers that are Cerakoted, so they're stronger. Can we call the little thing they're adding a dongle? Yes, we can call anything a dongle, man. Other than the plastics, but okay, yeah. Yes, Brody. So, so yeah, Lucas, those SKF wheel seals, they come in the SKF kit, which we're getting low on, but they're sweet. And when are you trying the other RK Tech head, and do you recommend the Iridium plug when you switch the other head? Scott, no, Kelsey does not recommend any kind of fancy plug ever that I know of. I've never heard of him say that. And I don't either, unless you just like spending the money. Because a spark is a spark. As long as you have everything tuned right, it should not matter as long as it go. Grandpa was, when did I rebuild the 100? Brody, it was mid-season this season. So it's probably got 30 hours on it. I'm just guessing, maybe 40. Let's see. So, Scott, I don't know when I'm going to try the other RK Tech head. I like this one so much. The other one's more aggressive. I don't know if I want any more aggressiveness out of it because it's like really good the way it is. But I will try it at some point. I just don't know when. Sure, you weren't the only one that got to keep his goggles when all that moto could have just been the goggles. Barnado, I don't know, man. Like, but my start was brilliant. Like the fact that I beat all those 4 strokes to the thing, which I never do. So, Travis Epperson, yeah, the IMS, the 4-stroke and 2-stroke tanks are the same. I talked to one of the engineers there, and he said there was something that they had to change on the 2-stroke, and I don't know what that was, but basically it's the same. It's and maybe it was just an update, but anyway, yeah, he said there was something that that's why it hadn't come out yet. I have a little dongle, but it's yes, Bruce Kennedy. That's awesome. I'd be skeptical to buy the Husky TX with the KTM due to the check engine fouling tank. Steven, I would not worry about it. I have had nothing but like great success. I have one other thing to say. Let me get to here and check a couple others, but I do have one other guy that I know has an issue. Big Chuck, thank you very much. You're going to love that TX. Do you know if there's a difference between XC and SX mapping? I do not know, Travis. I don't know. I know that they have the same head insert, but I don't know about mapping. Seriously want to plan a trip, head out west. I'm like, yes, let's do it, Ozzy. We'll have to see if I can keep up. You'll be just fine on your 2020 TPI. It ain't the bike. Is Ewan going to sell any of his gear with the bike? No, he's not. And you don't want any of his gear anyway. Did you have to do any tuning with the idle cold start knob when the bike was brand new? Did I look good right out of the box? Casey, I did have to turn the idle up. I have not messed with the cold start thing, but the idle, I had to turn that up. So yeah, but whatever. Brady Metter, this is a very good question, and one that I'm bummed about. Will you come back to the Gold Rush next year after all the BS this year? My family and I talked about that a lot on the way home, and I honestly don't know. It will depend on news and things that come out about the Gold Rush. If I have whatever, I'm not going to bag on the Gold Rush because I know the guys that were there were doing the very best they could. But there was a lot of crap with scoring and things like that was just super annoying. And you spend a lot of money. I don't mind spending a lot of money. That is not a problem. If I feel like I'm getting a lot for my money, I'm happy to give it away. What I'm not okay with is spending a lot of money and not getting much. And that is kind of what happened this year. And so, again, to Pat and everybody, if anybody's watching this that was there putting on that race, thank you. We had a wonderful weekend. But if you want us and other people from around the country to come, you're going to have to fix some stuff. Brady, I agree. Brady says the best they could isn't acceptable for the extreme cost. I agree 100%. I don't want to beat up on the people that were there, because the people that were there are not the owners anymore either. Hey, Dad, there's my dad, Scott Spradling. So yeah, I just don't want to be negative about it. I had a great weekend, but honestly, it's a big question mark as to whether we'll come back. We have to figure out where to race if no one buys. That's another thing. Weeby Hair Scramble Series is, the owners are out after this race. I mean, they're done. Well, after the season, and so they need to sell it. Don't tell me to buy it. I don't have time to buy it. So I just read Seat Time's comment about Ewan's gear. Yeah, Ewan's gear is probably covered in blood and guts from being such a hard ass, and that's true. So yeah, the racing looks like RMEC is going to get a bunch of my money. Hey, Morgan, if you need to ride out a peach, the dirt is so good. Yes, Brody, I know the dirt looks so. I was out there hiking with the dogs yesterday morning. It was good. Dia de los Motos was awesome for me at the RRMT doing the Graham Drivers Clinic. Yes, dude, that's so good. The Seat Time, I'm not buying a race series. Don't worry. Why am I so negative? I can't even find anything positive. What did me? Look at my beautiful face, Brady Metter. Look at my beautiful face. Look at your beautiful family. They're amazingly positive and awesome. So shut up. Be positive about something. When all is said and done, would you choose a carb with no problems or TBI with its quirks? Steven, that's a good question. If I had to choose between the two, if I I only get one motorcycle, right? Like I only get one bike, and I have let's say a limited budget. Like let's say the budget included a brand new bike, but not a lot more past that, I would probably get the carb one. I say that because hold on, bike, there we go. This bike right there is my carbureted 300, and I'm not getting rid of it. So yeah. Matt Simpson, what are you doing for training? Seat Time's correct. I don't train, I just ride, and that is true. Right now I'm not training. I've been so busy with the move and all that stuff, but whoa, how excited. If you guys follow me on Facebook, like me personally, you'll see that our big shop at the house is like coming along, and they're going to putting a roof on it maybe this week. I don't know. Anyway, it's happening very soon. And so it's going to be awesome. Hope your family emergency last week sorted out okay. Yes, I think it did. I think I had Brady let me know, but yes. Pack Racer, he's positive about giving people crap. That's so good. Enduro Method is a great program if you're looking for a training program. So Seat Time, it's funny. I was actually talking to Garrett Anderson and his wife about that. Because my new big barn is new and big, I'm going to have all my kettlebell and pull-up stuff out there, and I might talk to the Enduro Method guys about that. So I am, yeah. Thanks, Scott Copland. I'm excited about the big shop. So, hey, hello, Dirt. What's happening, Jared? How are you? What other questions you guys have? Like I said, we got done racing at the Gold Rush. It was a ton of fun. There was situations as far as scoring and things like that. So it's a bummer. Really hope they get that figured out. How do you think the SX300 would be for an all-around bike? It's much cheaper. Steven, the problem with the SX is it's a great motorcycle, but that's even racier than this. Smaller tank, so really small situation on that. So that here, then the gearbox, I haven't ridden an SX. By the way, newsflash, we are getting a 300 SX in here for us to do lots of testing and filming and things. My buddy Todd Colvin has one. It should be showing up any minute, and he will be bringing it over here. We're going to be doing all kinds of content on the 300 SX. So stay tuned. So I don't know about the gearbox yet. That's one big question mark in my mind. I really like the gearbox on this bike a lot. It's really, really good. First is lower than before and all that stuff. I like the spacing. It's good. SX, I'm imagining, is probably going to have the same tight box, like, spacing between gears, but I'm guessing first is going to be taller and fifth is going to be lower. I don't know. Someone probably know. I mean, there's probably information out there already as far as the gear ratios, but so I don't like that for an all-around bike, especially if you got any transfers, things like that. You got to ride down the road for a ways. Like the SX is wicked, and if you're going to make a full-on legit like race-only motorcycle, it might be really, really good. But if you're doing trail riding, things like that, I think the SX is not good because you're going to spend, to get it really up to par, you're going to spend almost that $2,000. Room for a taco stand in the new shop? Yes, Brady, dude, there's room for so much in the new shop. We need to talk about that. Jason Lash, breakfast burritos are coming after I leave here. Literally, I'm going to go get a breakfast burrito. Thanks, Brody. I will let you know if I need help. Thank you very much. Clean carbs and 440 race sled. Yeah, Jeremy, 440 race sled. Heck yeah, dude. I missed those days, those little freaking wicked fast sleds. High fives all. New video next weekend. Seat time. Yes. Make sure you guys go. Look at this. I'm going to try to. There. Go to Seat Time's channel. Click on him. Go to his channel. Subscribe. He's my very good friend. And we are going to be doing the Morgan and Woody show soon. We just talked this morning. We texted about figuring out how we can do that live stuff. Just TX in the shop to compare to play with. Oh, right on, True North. Let us know. Do you think, like, you just got in the shop, do you think it's any lower than the XC? Because someone asked that earlier. Chris Nelson, it is good to see your smiling comments. I appreciate them very much. Went out for a ride the day before yesterday. Snowstorm, found a thief stash spools of what? Wow. So Kim Jackson, I have a great story time. I should tell this. Okay, I'm going to tell this also in the schlog, but for you guys watching live, I'm going to tell the story. So speaking of things, found in the desert. I didn't find this, but I have friends who did. So out in the North Junction Desert, North and West Junction Desert, there are some guys putting in new trails. Anyway, they're out in the desert having fun. And they rode past this, like, they're out in the middle of nowhere, and there's this sheet of plywood in kind of a little swale. And they rode past it, did the thing. They come back and they're like, look at it. And there was a angle grinder, like a cordless angle grinder sitting kind of near it. And it was like, you had the battery in and everything. Whoa, wait, like, hey, that's cool. So he gets off, he's looking at it and he's like, what is, and they flip the sheet of plywood over. Wait for it. Headless body under the sheet of plywood. Yeah. Angle grinder. It turns out it was the thing that cut the head off. They never found the head. They called the cops. So creepy. So yes, it gets it. And people wonder why I carry a pistol when I go ride sometimes. That's why. Anyway, so let's see. Travis starting off-road park in Jay, Oklahoma. Ooh, cool. I didn't know that, Lucas. That's awesome. That's continue by sitting on it. Put the tape measure. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. And Dan, I have not touched my bike other than wash it from the Gold Rush. But I will be filming your wire harness install very soon, and I've got a light to test for right now. So thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate that. Switching to vintage bikes at Honda Transalp 750. Ooh, yeah. But I don't know if it'll swing. I don't know. The Tenere 700, I don't know. I'd have to ride them both. They're both going to be awesome, though. Thanks for all the info. Love these talks. Thanks, Steven. Just wish someone would make the choice for me. Can't decide Beta 300 RE is a better choice or not. Man, Steven, I don't know, dude. God, the Beta's good. It's good. I don't know. So that's your question between the two. It's not a used one. So, man, Steven, I don't know what your budget is. I don't know if you can keep a spare bike around in case. But honestly, if that were my choice, I'd probably go with the Beta. If I didn't have this YouTube channel, I probably would have a Beta sitting right there. I wanted this bike because I knew it would be good for the channel. I knew it would be good for you guys, for someone to actually really test it and not give a crap about what people say. That's me. So I knew there's a lot of pluses for me buying this bike and not caring about whether or not it broke. If I had to care about that, I probably would get the Beta, to be honest. Yeah. But you're running Mooses. Are they both the same furnace? Yes, Casey Duncan. I didn't touch on it recently, but yeah, I run the Platinum Moose front and rear. I do have a plushie to put in this bike for some hard enduro stuff I'm going to get into here soon. So, no, he did not get to keep the ankle grinder. The cops kept the ankle grinder. Sorry, Scott, that's awesome. Stolen car and drugs, gnarly. Oh, I saw a guy spray painting a car that he had just stolen out in the desert. It was awesome. That's another good story. Bow Hunter, yes, video on the Gold Rush is happening. It's actually right behind this screen, like behind this window on this screen. It's happening. I'll get it out today. True North, yeah, I'm excited. I already checked out your harness a lot, and I like just in the package, and it's top notch, dude. It looks really good. Very excited. See, Pastrana is partnering with an established off-road park. That's amazing. All the money they're throwing at it. Cool. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that that's happening. Where's Jay, Oklahoma? I don't know where. That's funny. From the state, but I don't know where Jay is. I think you should patent my fork tube polisher fixture. Yes, Bruce Kennedy. I think you should spend 10 grand patenting that thing. You might get $5 or $6 back. No, I think it's awesome though. Honestly, it's a super cool thing. I will be probably building something like that for if I have a really messed up fork tube. Are you upgrading the stator on the new XC somewhere that only puts out like 30 watts or something? Crash hard? No, not yet. I'm kind of going to wait around and see what comes up for that. I haven't seen anybody just selling a new one that you can just bolt in there. I don't know if it'll work. Oh, it's near the Great Salt Plains. Thanks, Mom. See, my mom. I love you, Mama. So I don't know if anybody's selling a stator that just goes in there. And again, I don't know if the flywheel will be enough magnetism. I don't know. So there's a lot to ask about that situation and a lot of testing that I'd like to see someone else do. So I don't want to get stuck. I mean, it could happen with anything, right? But stators are one of those things I kind of like to have someone electrical really do a bunch of testing before I try it out, because it's the thing that will leave you dead stuck on a motorcycle if it fails. Yeah, Bruce, I bet you get $10. Maybe you know what? I don't know, if you really market it hard, you might see 50. But I think it's awesome. Do you think we'll be able to read and diagnose and clear codes with dealers? Stephen, yes, that will happen eventually. No, not soon. No stators, rewinds and testing in progress. Yeah, True North. So that's kind of what I thought. I didn't figure Trail Tech or anybody has stator yet. I don't mind rewinds at all. My XR's rewound and all that stuff. Rewinds are really good if the guy that's doing it is good. But I also, I'm a guy that likes to have spares. So I got spare wheels, spare. So I'd like to buy a stator and keep my stock one as a spare on the shelf in case something goes wrong. You know, whatever. We had a guy blow up his TBI in the first ride, who's Islander. Huh, that's interesting. I would like to know why. I did hear, actually, a guy contacted me about one that was running lean. So, you know, if that's a thing. Quick thing about TBIs. I had a guy contact me on Facebook. I'm going to be posting these pictures here soon. I got to ask him if that's okay, because I don't, anyway, they're his pictures. But he went to drain his oil for the first time. He sent me pictures and video of it happening. And it was like gray, like aluminum gray. Not like mine was dark, like clutch material dark and whatever. And it's getting better every oil change. His was like bad gray aluminum coming out. And he's like, yeah. And then he talked to his dealer. He's like, well, change it a couple times and let us know. I'm like, come on, guys. It shouldn't. Anyway, whatever. So he changed it, put new oil in it, and then parked it and noticed a leak. And he's like, huh. And so he got in there, and it looks like they forgot to put the gasket between the inner clutch cover and the case. I don't know yet. He's going to get back to me. But if that's the case, the whole thing would be moved in a little too much. And maybe when you pull the clutch lever or something else is rubbing on the case and putting the aluminum through the thing. So yeah. Barnado, I know your YZs are better in so many ways. They just don't have a button. Damn it. It's the internet, so you never know. But someone on IG was saying a fan will drain and kill the battery. I need a fan. Crash hard. Someone said that to me, but then also another guy showed me his bike like video running, fan running, idling, and it was at 12.9 volts. So True North, I'm the same way. I have a spare stator on order, but not available. Yeah, True North, I am with you. Enduro Solo, the shop up at my house sometime after Thanksgiving, but not far after Thanksgiving. We should have it done. What are the most crucial adjustments to make on a racing fork to tune for trail riding? Biggest thing for me is backing out the compression bypass and letting that fork move a little bit better. I usually leave the rebound like it is. Okay, it's the north side of the state telling me okay. When are I getting hood? I need to get some hoodies. What do you guys think I should do for hoodies? What design? Maybe email me because we got to shut this thing down. But Mike Barnato, you do have a strong leg. I love you, Mike, so much. I know. Oh, every time I watch my kid fire his YZ up and take off, I'm like, man, it's a nice motorcycle. And, oh, by the way, there were moments this weekend in Oklahoma that my son was getting closer to me on the racetrack. I was able to put the hammer down and get away from him, but not by much. And it is coming very soon that kid is going to be faster than I am, like very, very soon. So as far as all the rumors on TBIs and all that stuff, guys, I can't speak to it. Mine's been great. 20 hours on it now. Zero issues. Really happy with it. Quick last little note on it. I ran it with Kelsey's head down in Oklahoma without race gas, and it did ping a little bit way down low in the RPM because it was getting hot. But I don't think any damage has been done. It ran perfectly and it still pulled really strong and all that good stuff when you actually got gas to it. But that head that we have developed for it right now, the 14.9 is too high compression to run at sea level with normal pump gas. So like I said, it was fine. It didn't blow anything up, but you could hear it. Dung, 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 like when you'd come off the gas or being hard gas. Jared, thank you so much for the super chat. Guys, just so you know what Jared did there is he gave us $20 because he appreciates the content and the effort we put in. I'm not begging for money, but if that's something you like to do, feel free on any one of these live shows, or you can join us on Patreon. You can do all that good stuff. Brady Meadow, the hoodies and Gold Rush are hilarious. I got one because it's hilarious. But anyway, I do need I Suck at Dirt. Okay, that's okay. 5280 James. I Suck at Dirt Biking, and then maybe the bagpiper on the back. Okay, that's happening. That's what's going to happen. Highland Cycles. Yeah, there we go. In different colors. That's a good idea. True North. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate everything. I'm really excited to get that stuff on there and test it out. So thank you, Jared. Thank you, everybody who watched this. I love you guys so, so very much. Punk Rock Club. You guys are my favorite. You know you're my favorite. I love you more than everyone else. Thank you so much. If you don't know what the Punk Rock Club is, it's the guys who stay around to the end of all the videos and they give us the rock and roll sign in the comments. I love you so much. I got a Brady Metter, you son of a bitch. I got a boogie. So awesome to be with all you guys. Have a great day. Get out, spread the gospel with two wheels. And as always, you know what I'm going to say. I hope that we're inspiring you to get out and ride your dirt bikes.